Hey everyone, I'm Elisha Krause and I'm going to talk to you today about how feminists suck. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for watching and please be sure to subscribe, comment, share with friends. Love it when that happens. I'm talking today a little continuation of last week's video about Amy Coney Barrett because it turns out that she ended up being Trump's nominee for Supreme Court of the United States to replace the late and great Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I use the word great even though I disagreed with her on a lot of issues. Any woman that did what she did made history. And I think I especially am impressed with RBG's legacy and her friendships that she chose to have with people on the other side of the aisle. And just throwing this out there, I would encourage all of y'all to do the same because things matter more than politics and things matter more than votes and relationships last a lifetime, or at least they should. The things that have come down against Amy Coney Barrett are apparently if you are a woman, you cannot have it all anymore, which is my biggest frustration with feminism, is how they like to pick and choose who can and cannot have it all based on whether or not you toe the line that they want you to toe. RBG had 2 kids. I think Nancy Pelosi has 5 kids. Kamala Harris has no kids. That's fine. If it really is a woman's choice of what she wants to do with her life and how many kids she wants to have, then why are we now talking about how Amy has 7 kids, 5 biological, 2 adopted, which I don't even know why people are pointing that out. I actually think it's disgusting that people are pointing it out. I think that adopted children are children. Adopted children are loved. Adoptive parents are those kids' parents, whether or not the biological parent is in the picture. I know people who are parents of adopted kids of their same color and of different color, and they love those children just the same. I have friends that have been adopted. I have people that I love that have been adopted. Adoption is a beautiful thing, and it's really pissing me off that a lot of y'all are now saying that adoption is a bad thing. So we're not supposed to encourage Americans who have the means to help raise children out of poverty and provide them a loving home and a positive future to maybe do that. I guess now there's tons of problems with the foster system in the United States, but are we just going to tell white people that they can't be foster parents anymore? It's a good thing Modern Family is off the air because Mitch and Cam adopting an Asian girl is totally not politically correct. I mean, what was that movie that was about like foster families with Rose Byrne and Mark Wahlberg? That's not allowed either because they weren't of Hispanic descent, so they shouldn't have been foster parents. So those kids, Hollywood says it's woke, but it's not woke because now adoption is a bad thing. I just think that this is a bad look. I think that, as I consider myself a real feminist, if you want to go after Amy Coney Barrett for her record, for her resume, for her decisions on things, for the 15 years that she was a law professor at a top university in the United States, do those things. That's fine. But to go after her for her religious beliefs and for having 7 children and for adopting 2 of those children from another country, I think somebody said it the other day on Twitter. They're like, I can't wait till her kids are old enough, her adopted kids specifically, for you to say that to their face so they can punch you in the face. It's a bad look. And I mean, obviously, every single time a Republican president puts up a nominee, we see some vitriol from the other side. We see some people that go low. We see some people that, in the words of Rahm Emanuel, like to bring a gun to a knife fight and really go to town. But I think that I expected the, oh no, she's going to tear down Roe v. Wade argument, which fine. I disagree with that argument because I'm anti-killing babies in the womb. But I think that I did not expect the woman has 7 children, therefore she cannot do the job argument. Woman has special needs child, so therefore she should be asked by the Senate about what her child care looks like. Meghan McCain and others pointed it out. I mean, Meghan McCain's late father, Senator John McCain, had 7 children. I don't remember any time he was out on the campaign trail in 2008 that people were like, oh, here comes Senator McCain and his large family. Who cares how large her family is? Seriously, that's up to her. It's her body, it's her choice. And, I think the biggest problem that feminists have with it is that it debunks the narrative. You have Michelle Williams who stands up and accepts her Emmy Award and says, if I hadn't had abortion, I wouldn't be here in my career today. Well, turns out that, people like Amy Coney Barrett are able to potentially, and honestly, guys, she's probably going to sail through the nomination because turns out you have to vote for the Senate, and the Senate is what votes on the nominee that the president puts up. This is why the 3 different branches of government are a beautiful and amazing thing that our founding fathers set up. But I digress. Like, if you have a problem with women succeeding when they have children. Why? It's because you don't want to expose that women can indeed have it all. And that typically the women that have it all are the women that are in religious marriages, heteronormative marriages, where they have a supportive spouse and where they have, I don't know, something about a higher calling or a higher purpose or an understanding of how family is the most important thing. It's mind-boggling to me. It's frustrating to me that feminists and people that say that they are pro-women are once again, I don't know why I'm surprised, proving that they are not yes all women. They are only yes all women with a but if you agree with them. They're only yes all women if you agree with Roe v. Wade. They're only yes all women if you happen to be Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi or Kamala Harris, apparently. But you can't be yes all women when it's Amy Coney Barrett with a pretty stellar record as a professional and a jurist that's now being nominated for Supreme Court of the United States. Go after her. If you're going to use the Handmaid's Tale argument, guys, at least be correct. I guess in Handmaid's Tale, which I've never watched or read the books, the woman gets in a Honda Odyssey and drives her whole family to the frickin' White House where the president nominates her to serve in the highest, judiciary office in the land. Okay, really interesting Handmaid's Tale stuff there. It'll be interesting to see what happens when she goes to the Senate. The large family thing is another thing that ticks me off, whether or not she had the adoptive kids, which is a separate thing because apparently adoption is bad now. The media talking about her large family. Once again, Mitt Romney considered a large family. I consider any family 3 or more kids. We have a large family, I guess. I guess I'm also a few kids shy of really pissing off the left, so my husband and I need to get on it before my, fertility clock stops ticking. Anyway, somebody on Instagram is saying that her record is effed up. I'll have to look into that. But I think that why is the media or why are people on the left trying to highlight how many kids she has? Is if you are a capable, talented woman, it doesn't matter if you have 1 kid or 10 kids, you're able to get your job done. And I would argue, I look at my friend group, Bethany Mandel knocks out New York Times columns at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that woman has 4 kids and a dog now and a husband. And I don't know how she does it, but your time management skills get a lot better when you become a parent because you are so limited in your day in what you can and cannot do, and raising these humans and instilling knowledge into them and instilling independence into them so they can do their own thing. I actually think that women are good at a lot of jobs because they are inherently nurturing and good at mothering. You have to be good at time management when you're a freaking mom. Ask any homeschool mom and working mom and small business mom out there, which is another thing. The majority of women in the United States, the majority of small businesses in the United States are owned and operated by women. So don't you want to give those women something to look up to? For all of the talk that we heard in 2016 and then again in 2018, and we're kind of hearing it now a little bit with Kamala Harris, but not as much because I think that the left realized that it really wasn't a winning slogan when it came to the majority of American voters. But this glass ceiling that was supposed to be cracked. The youngest, I think she would be one of the youngest jurists ever nominated to the Supreme Court of the United States, and she'd be the first female jurist that has school-aged children. Chief Justice Roberts' twins were very tiny when he was nominated, but he's a dude, right? Did people ask him about his childcare options? Just the double standard of the left ignoring when men have a lot of children versus when women have a lot of children points out that they actually do believe in heteronormative roles and that they do believe that women are not capable of doing it all, and that apparently in order to be successful you have to abort all of those babies and not keep them alive in order to succeed. It's a problem. It frustrates me. I want to know your thoughts on it. And I think that Amy is going to sail through her nomination. As I pointed out last week, if it had been her or Lagoa, I think either of them, because they've been through confirmations before, because they've handled the vitriol of the left, because they've handled some media scrutiny, that she's going to do really well and be calm under pressure. And I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see how radical the left decides to go here. But I never anticipated them going after a woman for being a mom and a professional and having a large family. So let me know your thoughts. this is my rambling on a Monday. And I'm going to go back, and thank God, you know, my husband gave me permission to do this video today because I got to get back to homeschooling the girls in the basement. Anyway, I'll talk to all of y'all soon.